All right, happy Friday night, everybody. We got a lot of stuff going on. Welcome to Diamond Talk, a big comeback win for Texas Tech baseball. As we go through tonight, we'll recap that. We got a special guest coming up for you from Las Vegas, where the Red Raiders take down the Fighting Illini, and they were fighting belligerent Illini. They were not in a good mood, but 10-6 the final score. We'll get to that tonight. And just our regular Friday show as well. Glad you're hanging out with us here from the Raiderland World headquarters. We are brought to you in part by United Supermarkets. All of your communications tonight brought to you by United Supermarkets. There's one supermarket in town that supports Texas Tech. There's another that sends their money elsewhere. You know where to shop. You know where to go. Also brought to you by Domino's Pizza. It's a busy weekend of Texas Tech sports. You need pizza, great pizza. Get the app, pick it up, have it delivered, do what you want to do, but get the app, save money, get great Domino's pizza. And of course, we're brought to you tonight by our good friends at Ultra Exteriors. Their name is a lie. They don't just do exteriors on your house, like cool windows and roofs and things like that. They do interiors, but it would be really weird to say Ultra Exteriors and Interiors. So they just, anyways, call my friend Warren Taylor. Hey, look at your bathroom tonight. Go in your bathroom, look around and go, how much cooler could it be if we called Warren Taylor in Ultra Exteriors? That would be awesome, right? That's what you want to do. Check them out, Ultra Exteriors here all over West Texas. They can make it happen for you. Glad you were with us tonight. We got a lot to get to. Texas Tech wins 10-6 over Illinois. It was cruising to be like a really tight, close game going to the bottom of the eighth, and then Texas Tech, decided, I'm just not going to catch a pop-up in left field. I'm banging on Logan Hughes a little bit. But it was a really good baseball game throughout, really, the whole game. And then it got just crazy wild, like college baseball does, in the bottom of the eighth and in the ninth when Texas Tech gets the Damian Bravo home run, sets the tone, they come back, they get 6 runs, they win. The man who was there, let's bring him in, from College Baseball Insiders, Matt Grissom from Grissom on X. That's right. Grissom on X on Twitter, at NCAA Insiders. He's there in Vegas, living the life I wanted to live. How you doing, man?
I can't complain. This is a beautiful stadium. Glad we got some great baseball, and just it's par for the course because college baseball seemed very drunk today, for lack of better words. It had a lot of great games. This one, it fit the bill.
All right, so let's back up. And neither starting pitcher factored into the decision, obviously, in this game. For Texas Tech fans, though, I want you to give your insight on what you saw out of Mac Heuer today, because what I've seen out of him so far, he's got really good stuff, but he throws too damn many pitches.
Yeah, this wasn't really a game where you want to write home all about the pitching staffs. Really, Illinois kind of looked like they played the more sound game. Texas Tech had more hits. They, like your tagline up there says, they erupted for 6 runs. Right after Hughes dropped that left field ball, it seemed like Illinois was going to win this game 5-4, and
Yeah, they had all the momentum. They had everything.
Not a huge traveling atmosphere from Texas Tech fans nor Illinois fans. It's mostly just family and family friends. But like I said, great day at the park overall. Pitching on the mound was so-so. But at the end of the day, Texas Tech, they had an opportunity to blow that in the bottom of the ninth, and they held on.
Yeah, they get J.T. Drake in there, and he had pitched pretty decent at Chapel Hill. And I think one of the things that's interesting, and you can talk about this, Matt, a little bit. Texas Tech's schedule this year is much different from what a lot of baseball teams are doing right now. They have really gone for the RPI route. They have really challenged themselves. We've only seen them at home 3 games, and that was against a good Cal Irvine team. So you're actually getting to see them in a setting that a lot of home team fans haven't really had to see them in yet. Not a lot of home games. Up and down the lineup, and this is a long-winded question. I'm going to get to a question at some point, I promise you. the defense has just been horrible this year for Texas Tech. The pitching's been okay. The hitting's been all right. Watching them play in the field today, did anything stand out, impress you? Obviously, Logan Hughes drops a freaking fly ball, but in watching the course of the game, what did you see out of this Tech team defensively?
I think it's a talented team. They're there, but they kind of went ho hum through it. I think Tim Tadlock is kind of known as being a big fundamentals guy, and I think if they can get the pitching staff sorted out, which Hewer didn't have a terrible game. He struck out 3 looking at it, faced 14 batters, but like you said, threw a lot of pitches. I mean, went 2 2/3 and threw 62. I know the mantra of pitching in West Texas and Lubbock, a mid-4 ERA isn't terrible,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I mean, you look around the league, you've got teams like Kansas and Kansas State, TCU. They've got a true ace. So if Mac Hewer is going to be that for Tech, I think he's got to be better. He's got to be sharper. Only 3 walks, which isn't terrible, but this Illinois team, I don't think was very good. And, to get into a kind of back and forth game there through the middle, it was nice to see the Texas Tech offense erupt like we all kind of come to expect these days. I know you don't have Killen anymore and, a couple other guys, but for Texas Tech to have started this season 1-5, it's really surprising, but I think with what you've got out there, you'll be fine in the long run. You just chose to take on one of the top pitching staffs in the country in North Carolina.
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on what you saw out of Jack Siebert today. He started off in the starting rotation. He got the ball game 1 against North Carolina. I thought he pitched pretty effectively, but he got betrayed by a couple of double play balls that didn't get turned, and the defense hurt him in that. So they bring him out of the pen today. Immediately, he's getting strikeouts that he hadn't gotten in his first 2 starts. What did you see out of Siebert today?
Yeah, I was really impressed with him. I mean, to me, he probably looked like the best pitcher that you guys have. And it's kind of like, just to correlate it to Arkansas, because I'm a diehard Razorback fan. Landon Bottleshees came in to kind of piggyback Zach Root in that second game, and he pitched a lot better than what he did in his start. Now, granted, we got to play a 4-game series, so the game 3 starter role didn't really matter at that point. He was going to start regardless, but I think sometimes it kind of takes the stress off the pitcher to be perfect when you can just go out there and throw your pitches and not overthink.
Well, I think we're seeing all around the country, not just Texas Tech, you're elevating guys through the transfer portal from, lower level programs or whatever. And it's almost like the progression in pro ball from AA to AAA and whatever. But it's still psychologically, I think it takes a little bit of time for these guys to adjust. And we're seeing them thrown into starting roles. And I kind of liked what I saw today, going back to Siebert. Take some of these guys and just let them ease their way into D1 baseball, as opposed to maybe just, oh, hi, you're taking on the number 6 team in the country. Good luck to you. I don't think it's unusual to see some of these guys struggle in their first outings and then settle back in and go, hey, I'm just doing what I was doing at the lower level. I'm doing it now at the same pitch. Execute the pitch.
Well, and then to do it on a big stage out here, I mean, yeah, the weather's not cold, but it was chilly. It was 70, wind was blowing, I think like 5 or 6 miles an hour, it said. But I mean, there through the valley, it was chilly. So to be able to do it, I think the total in this game was set at 15, and there for a while it seemed like it was going to go way under until the ninth. And then pitching mattered when it needed to matter, I think. And that's, you've got guys that you can plug in and get crucial outs, and then you've got the power in the lineups. I was really impressed with is it Villanueva?
Yeah. Robin, okay, wait for this, because it's a Spanish name for a kid from Canada, and it's Robin Villeneuve.
Okay. See, I knew I was going to butcher it.
Yeah. No, I want to say Villanueva like Harry Carey. Hey, Steve, got a lot of Villanueva there. No, it's Villeneuve, and no one can say it around here.
Well, Arkansas got vital shoes. So Rivers looked really good. You've got guys, and I think we just now saw the beginning of what could be a high powered Texas Tech offense.
I really wanted to be out there for this because I want to get your feeling on the vibe of this tournament. I think this could be a premier destination tournament in college baseball in the coming years. With, I mean, the explosion obviously of sports wagering and everything else, but Vegas trying to become a not trying to become a destination city, but you know what I mean, and trying to getting pro baseball. Maybe, I guess nobody really knows for sure, but this I think this could be one of the premier tournaments around the country.
Oh, I texted in our group and I said I wish more teams played out here. Being at Globe Life last week, it was a cool atmosphere. I think we're 18,000 people there for a single game, and
Yeah.
then you come out here and it's you know maybe 1,000, 1,200 people in the stand. So that kind of surprised me because of just the setting, the stadium, everything. Like, why wouldn't you come out here? Because Las Vegas is a destination. Get out here and support your team. Washington fans started flowing in. Texas fans have been here pretty much all day. But I'm curious to see tomorrow night when it gets rough and rowdy. I ran into some people at Circa, and they said that half their family graduated from Tech, half of them graduated from UT. So they were all out here celebrating and going to go to the game tomorrow night. So that should be a good one. I'm glad you got the win, though. It wouldn't have looked as pretty going in 1-6 to face
Yeah.
the top 25 Texas team.
Would have been a little rough going into that. We can't wait to see that thing going on tomorrow. Are you staying at Circa or where are you staying?
I am. Yeah, I'll be at Circa.
All right. Well, tell our friends there, Mike Palm and Derek and everybody. We said hey, and I'm glad you're out there because I really want to see this thing explode and college baseball explode. And you guys doing what you're doing, college baseball insiders, NCAA insiders. Tell folks a little bit about the podcast, about the shows, and how now that we can actually bet on these things, how you guys can help them actually bet intelligently on college baseball because there's so little information out there around the country. I'm glad you guys are doing it.
Yeah, so we started it. This is season 3. I've been betting it on and off since I guess 2017, 2018, but it just became something I was really passionate about, and I've realized that you can beat it. The odds makers typically don't know who's starting pitching,
Yep.
and we hunt to try to find all the data. We've got an awesome website at collegebaseballinsiders.com that will give you real time, like implied probability of what a line should be. Granted, it was wrong. It said Illinois was going to win this game by I think 1.5 run margin.
Hey, I think that's probably what I gave
for a
you.
while.
I think I gave you that earlier today.
But yeah, it's just an awesome tool. And if you're a college baseball advocate like I am and you want to grow the game, I feel like this is another tool that we need in our repertoire of being able to handicap it. There's a severe lack of information. There's a lack of coverage. You know that. And we just wanted to try to provide something to viewers that they can use to try to become sharper handicappers and just dive into the stats and the content because there's not enough of us that produce it.
Yeah, and I think staying with the sports betting angle on this, I think this is one of the last fluid markets that we have out there. That everything has become so tight, but college baseball still to me seems real fluid. It's an information game. College baseball, I think, is very dependent on understanding, obviously, pitching matchups, who's thrown during a series, and also, don't laugh, people, weather. Weather in college baseball, because of the way the parks are set up, to me, plays as big or a bigger role than it does even in MLB.
Yeah, I like to give Smitty a hard time because he always gets his weather report from Ryan Hutt. He said,
Yeah.
"I'll text Ryan." I'm like,
Yeah. What are
Smitty,
we doing?
you can just go to Google and Google what's the weather in Lubbock. But yeah, it's all right there in the website. You can look at what the wind's doing. what's the temperature, which I feel like matters more here in the early parts of the season
Yes.
because pitchers, when they can't feel the ball, it's hard to throw, and especially throw accurately. So that all matters. You walk a couple people, you get on base, and then you hit one over their head, and now a under looks like a way over, kind of like tonight. So
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's coming up tonight, and then
Washington and Texas
I think I'll
about to
take the
start.
Longhorns in that one. We'll let you get to work. Tell people though how to follow you, where to go, get the podcast, everything, so they know what to do.
We do a weekly show. You can check us out on Twitter or YouTube at NCAA Insiders, and follow us along at NCAA Insiders on Twitter, X, whatever we call it. And then I'm at Grissom on X. And again, that website, collegebaseballinsiders.com. Hop on. It's totally free. Check it out. Play around with the matchup preview. Compare head-to-head stats. Everything you can. Soak up all the info because there's not enough of it out there.
Absolutely. I appreciate you jumping on. I wish I was out there. We're going to figure out a way. We're going to see a series in person somehow, some way this year. And hey, maybe it might be up there in Omaha, and I ain't opposed to that. So
there you go.
Buying the first round of drinks there at DJ's Dugout, just beyond center field. Matt, be well, have fun, and tell everybody we know out there Goober says hey, all right?
All right, I'll do it. Thanks for having me on, Ryan.
Have a good night. Matt Grissom, everybody. He is, he's one of the best, let me tell you. And what they're doing there is the best baseball coverage you're going to find, I think, anywhere for the most part. You're just not going to get a better setup than what they have there regarding sports wagering, which brings in a different analysis. And we love D1 Baseball and Kendall and those guys, and we're going to talk to them as the year goes on. All right, Texas Tech wins tonight, 10-6. Get your comments in. Get your thoughts in. Glad you guys are hanging out with us tonight. Fire away. We have Tech softball today splitting 2 games down there at College Station, losing inexplicably again on a home run to what was it? Idaho State and Nigeria, Canada, not playing in the game. There are questions about her health right now. And we have Tech basketball tomorrow against Kansas, and more discussions about the health of the Red Raiders and whether D. Will or Chance McMillan will play. All right, so get in tonight, but we wanted to come in this evening with a little Diamond Talk for you, get Matt Grissom on, and just a much needed, Tech needed this win, all right? So get your comments and your questions in, brought to you by United Supermarkets. James had jumped in earlier. Starting pitching sounded good on the radio. Hewer was okay. He's just throwing too many pitches. And that's really been the bane of the starters so far for Texas Tech, is the pitch count, that you're not giving yourself a chance to get beyond the 4th inning and get into the 5th or the 6th effectively, and having to get into the bullpen. Some of the other numbers out of this game, Texas Tech on the stat line, Thompson at the leadoff had 3 hits today, 2 RBI, and he scores a run. Damian Bravo, obviously, with the big home run there in the 9th inning, and he gets 3 hits on the day. Antonelli Sabateri, 2 runs scored, 2 hits. Back out there, averaged up to 353. And then we talked about Robin Villeneuve, the average at triple threes, goes 3 for 4 today. 3 doubles on the day with the 3 runs scored in the RBI. And bless his heart, Logan Hughes, he just had a bad day. 0 for 4. He drops the fly ball there in the 8th that ties it up, and it sends it to the 9th with the tie game. And Texas Tech, instead of looking at winning it in the 9th without having to get runs, well, I want to go score 6. Rivers was behind the plate today, and you heard Matt Grissom talk about how impressive he was. 4 RBI on the day. TJ Pompey does his thing, 2 hits. Tracer Lopez making a couple of plays in the field, a walk. And then Ryan Coleman. Does Tell me, does not that sound like a Texas country artist? Coleman Ryan Coleman. They've got him at short. They like the defense, but he's hitting a buck 82. We'll see if they make any changes. Going back through the pitching today, Mac Ure goes 2 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, a walk, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 62 pitches, 33 for strikes. Jack Siebert on the day, really a quality 2 1/3 inning. I liked what we saw. And this guy, if he's not going to be a starter, he could be a weekend middle guy and a midweek guy. Goes 2 1/3 with 4 Ks and a walk. Boudreaux, third of an inning, gives up a run. Wild pitch, not a great outing. And then kind of lost in this, if we were going to give a hold today, it would be Crotchfeld. 1 2/3 on the day, a walk, a strikeout, 1 hit. He gives up no runs. And then, Logan Beavis comes in, gets the win, didn't vulture it, gets the win, goes an inning, starts the ninth, 4-pitch walk, 3-pitch walk would have been something. And they go, we're not screwing around. So JT Drake comes in, and he zeroes across 2 hits with a strikeout, and you get out of there with a win. So there we are. Your comments, your questions, what do you got tonight? If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter X, if you are on Facebook Live, thanks to United Supermarkets, we can hear from you tonight. You tell us, what do you like about this? Tech wins 10-6. Got basketball thoughts? We can expand it. Anything else that's on your mind? Can Texas Tech survive the fog tomorrow? BT, there on Twitter X, is the KU game a must-have to keep a top 4 seed? Great question. I don't think so. And we look at Joby's nitty-gritty rankings right now, and Texas Tech is the last 4 seed. But if I go to bracketville.wordpress.com with Dave Allman and his crew, they're still teetering on the 3-4. I don't think it's an absolute must-win whatsoever to keep that 4 seed. Now, this is the last big regular season win you can hang on the wall, but losing at Fog Allen, and if you can't play McMillan and or Williams, the committee's going to look at that still and go, all right, you couldn't use those guys against Houston, close game till late. Fog Allen's still Fog Allen. I don't think it is a must win to keep the 4 seed. And I'll tell you right now, I really don't care if they keep the 4 seed. Okay? Because I think this field right now is 20, 25 deep and probably 20 deep. And they're almost interchangeable after you get past the first seed line. And really, if Houston is a number 1 seed and you've beaten Houston at their place, let's go play, neutral court games and see what happens. I'm really not that interested right now in the seed line for Texas Tech. Last year, you were worried about matchups because you didn't have a post player. This year, if you're healthy, you got a post player. So I would say right now, I don't think it's a must-have, but I really don't care. And I don't want Texas Tech to do anything to jeopardize what they could do going forward in March, which is tomorrow, by playing any guys that are just dinged up this much or dinged up that much. You tell us. All right, get your comments and your questions in. It is Friday. That means most Texan thing you have done this week. That was me gathering eggs for my in-laws. That's the retirement program right now. I'm gathering eggs. We're selling eggs. If you want some eggs, let me know. It's $72 an egg. I mean, these are great farm-raised eggs. These are beautiful, best eggs you've ever had. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want them. So whether you're on Twitter X, where are my YouTube people tonight? I know we got a lot of YouTube people chiming in. You can get in thanks to United Supermarkets, where you can get eggs, and they're reasonably priced, all things considered right now. Not too bad. And can we say the demise of Tech baseball was greatly exaggerated after the first week and even last weekend? that they're playing the best schedule they've played in 25, 35 years. Hell, probably go. I don't know. Maybe actually, this is probably the best early season schedule that Texas Tech has ever played. So can we throttle down just a little bit on that? And now they play the defending Big Ten champions. I believe they were Big Ten champions, and a team coming in 5-2, and you get the win. Can we throttle down a little bit on that? That you're playing a really good schedule, and now you've got another win, and you get Texas tomorrow. We see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, he is our realtor in Raiderland, Kyle Rogers from Remax Realty, the voice of Texas Tech softball, who goes 1-1 today, getting the easy win in the afternoon game and the hard luck loss 3-2 to Idaho State earlier today. And we have questions. I don't know if Kyle is in the know or not on this, but we're really hoping that Nigeria Canada is not dinged up, not banged up right now. There are thoughts, but since he's here, do you have an open house this weekend that we can tell people about here in Lubbock, Texas, and West Texas? If you do, please let us know. We want to thank Matt Grissom again for jumping on with us from Las Vegas. That's right. The only media outlet in Lubbock, Texas. The only media outlet in Lubbock, Texas with people on the ground there covering the game that weren't actually doing the game. All right. Yeah, I know. Jamie and Gus are there. I'm not trying to discount them. I love those guys. Yeah, but hey, look, we bring you media outlet coverage from Las Vegas and Raiderland. That's what we do. We have contacts everywhere. So we want to thank Matt Grissom. He'll probably join us on Sunday, and we'll recap the whole weekend with him from College Baseball Insiders and NCAAinsiders.com. There were a couple of things that I wanted to get to on some of the numbers. That's my problem, is I get lost in the numbers sometimes. And it was a really close game, obviously going to the ninth, tied up. So you look at the two-out hitting. Illini, 2 of 11, Tech 4 of 12. Runners on, Tech was 350, 7 of 20. Situational hitting better. Illinois, 5 of 21, 238. Runners in scoring position, RASP. 357 Tech, 4 of 14. 4 of 12 for Illinois. Leadoff, 3 of 9. And this is what really hurt Tech in the middle innings, was the leadoff runners getting on for Illinois. They were 5 of 9. Runners on third, less than 2 outs. Tech was 3 of 4. Illinois 2 of 3. But Tech 3 of 4. And these are really good numbers to get for Tech right now. And then advancement opportunities. And this is kind of the hidden yardage stat from football. Tech was 15 of 26, moving them around. And then you go runners in scoring position, then you were 357. So you were 15 of 26, 577. That was good. They were 513 to 26. No pinch hits for Texas Tech. Doesn't matter left-handed hitting. Total pitches today. And again, my gripe right now on the pitching, you're throwing too many pitches. Texas Tech today, 172 pitches to 178 for Illinois. The strike ratio was 57% for Tech, 59. You'd like that to be about 3 to 5 higher at least. 98 strikes, 74 balls today. Turned a double play. You had one error, and it was bad because it allowed the game to go to the ninth side. 172 pitches is just too much. And that's going back to your starting pitchers right now for the most part. Your starting pitchers are just challenge the zone, all right? Challenge the zone. Can we do that? It's not hard to do. All right. Danny Kane is in on Twitter X, at Ryan Hyatt Media. Curveball for you. Watching a few different college baseball games that are being played on grass. Any chance Tech baseball and or football goes to grass? Nope. Never, ever, ever going to do it. Won't ever happen. Here's the reason. First, for football. The water table, when they excavated Jones Stadium and dug the bowl, The water table is so close to the ground, they have to act to the field level. They have pumps and a massive pump system underneath it to try to pump the water out and everything else. It was a problem in the 60s. The turf really, the grass field in the 60s at Tech was really bad. It would get torn up. It was soggy. It was just a mess every year. So that's not going to happen. Baseball, you could theoretically do it, but the growing season and everything else, it's just you're not going to have a really good field until late March. You're just not. It's different even from Oklahoma. I know that sounds weird, certainly from A&M and a lot of that. Plus the cost maintenance and everything else, you're just not going to do it. Now, what I would like to see is the cutouts on baseball. Give me dirt around home plate, first, second, and third base. Give me the cutouts. All right? Give me the cutouts. I missed that from the old Dan Law when, they went from all grass in 88 to the turf infield with the cutouts and the grass outfield. And then it was whenever in 2000 and whatever when they went to the all turf field. So never going to happen on that for a lot of different reasons. Good question, though. They're on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Subscribe, don't cost nothing. And then on our Facebook page, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, people getting in on there. Kyle is there. All right, Sunday. It really hurt. 2 to 4, 1,206 North 14th, Preston Manor. Beautiful new build by Greystone Homes. Check it out. Our realtor in Raiderland. Got it going on there. A little open house, all right? He's a dude, by the way. And finally, I was beginning to wonder. So we had him on earlier. We had Kyle on earlier. He does the PA voice of Tech softball. And they lost at North Texas on a walk-off. Then they lost the first game today on a walk-off. And I'm like, Kyle, since we had you on, but they redeemed themselves later on today. Yeah. You hear that? Here at Raiderland headquarters, world headquarters, the dogs are barking. Texas Tech baseball on your mind. We got you on that. I know it's a kind of a random time and weird, but whatever. And everybody can enjoy the replay. And you guys who are asking questions, whether you're on Twitter X, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, our wonderful YouTube people, they're still going to enjoy it. I feel like I'm missing something out of it. If you got in late, make sure you go back and watch our visit with Matt Grissom at Grissom on X on Twitter, NCAA Insiders. Good stuff, cool stuff on Texas Tech baseball. He's an Arkansas guy, but he's a good Arkansas guy. He never wears the plastic pig hat indoors for the most part. I want to go back to the comparison stats. I keep thinking I missed something that I want to get to, and I can't find it right now. Yeah, well, doesn't matter. We did talk about Jack Siebert, by the way, and I think that was, from a pitching standpoint, one of the things I wanted to see, and they brought him out of the pen, and this guy has great stuff. And he may yet be back into the rotation at some point. But if he all of a sudden is a guy who can be a middle guy and make an impact twice a week for you and eat up, 55 pitches on a Tuesday and 55 pitches on a Saturday or something, he could be really, really impactful for you going through Big 12 play and everything else. Was really glad to see that. We're going to be paying attention to Texas, obviously, tonight, see what happens there. Let's look around the Big 12 before we get out of here. It went extra innings, but Kansas State and LSU, a final. Number 2 LSU beats them 8-5. A final in Lawrence, Omaha over Kansas, 9-5. Oklahoma State at number 3 Tennessee and it's the fighting Frank Andersons, former Tech pitching coach there. No, that was not at 10. That was at Minute Maid. I'm sorry. Oklahoma State falls 5-2 to number 3 Tennessee. Houston in Arlington at Clay Gould Ballpark, which is UT Arlington, they lose 7-4. What the hell are you doing, Houston? Utah, California Baptist. Utah wins 13-5 in Riverside. They're against Cal Baptist. Got to click here. Bottom of the ninth, BYU up over Gonzaga, 13-9. They're playing in Spokane. Bottom of the eighth, West Virginia. Queens College of North Carolina, a friend of mine's son played soccer there. 6-1, bottom of the eighth. And that's West Virginia leading. UCF trailing South Florida, 9-3, bottom of the seventh at South Florida. Meanwhile, good Lord, it takes forever to get through the Big 12 scores. Number 25, TCU. Number 22, Southern Miss. Top of the seventh, TCU leading 4-2 at TCU. Baylor, top of the fifth Globe Life. Number 9, Oregon State, 3-2 Baylor. Come on, Bears. Top of the third, Minnesota, Arizona State. That is at Arizona State, 2-0. Arizona State leading. Top of the third, Arizona at number 1, Texas A&M. They're playing that down at Minute Maid. It is just underway. Top of the third, scoreless. And bottom of the first, number 23, Cincinnati. Sorry, I'm making myself laugh. Number 23, Cincinnati. And UC San Diego scoreless. Good Lord, we got to get a sponsor on the scoreboard report. I'm going to wear myself out doing that every day. All right, you guys are the best. We appreciate everybody watching. Thanks again to Matt Grissom on X. Follow him. Thank him. This weekend, Round Ball Rewind. Tomorrow, Texas Tech and Kansas, I believe 1 o'clock tip-off. We'll have Round Ball Rewind for you. Talking about that. Sunday, back with you again on Diamond Talk, recapping the weekend there in Las Vegas. Follow us on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. On Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. And then everything we do is at theraiderland.com. We'll archive it there. We'll post it, and you guys can share it. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Have a great Friday night. We'll see you soon at theraiderland.com.